Shedeur will start this week.
Y'all said the Raiders are bad. They're trash. So is Bo Nix bad? It's official. Shedeur Sanders is QB1 for the Cleveland Browns after his historic start against the Raiders. And, we're going to talk about a few things. First, we're going to hear Kevin Stefanski announce that Shedeur is QB1, hear about what he improved and didn't improve on. And then, everybody wants to talk about the Raiders. Well, I'm going to show you what some other first-round picks did against the Raiders. But go ahead, Kevin Stefanski. Go ahead and announce something that you never wanted to announce in your wildest dreams. Go ahead.
Shedeur will start this week. Obviously, number one job of a quarterback is to win. So excited to get that first win under his belt. And then next thing is improvement. And that's what young players do. Certainly young quarterbacks do. You get one game better, and that's just from working at it. So that'll be our focus.
Good to hear from that. Obviously, Kevin Stefanski hasn't been the biggest Shedeur Sanders fan, if that's me putting it lightly. So he probably had to grit his teeth. They probably had the Andrew Berry with a sniper on him. They probably had a laser trained on him and said, "You better start that boy. You better give him a chance." But here are some more nice words from Mr. Kevin Stefanski about Shedeur Sanders.
Well, obviously, first start for any young quarterback, you're always going to make sure that the operation is how you want it. And I thought by and large was good. There's things that we can clean up. And obviously that goes on all of us. That's coaches, that's the players, the quarterback, where we can clean up some of our operation. But I thought communication was really good throughout the day with him. And then, like you mentioned, the big plays down the field. Obviously that first one to IB was very, very high degree of difficulty with that play. Are there things that he can do better? Absolutely. We've already talked about that with him. He has the mentality that he will, make the adjustments to the speed of the game, make the adjustments to what people are giving us to make those improvements.
Hey man, look, from not the biggest Shedeur fan, it's good to hear some positive from old Kevin Stefanski. But let's get into it, right? A lot of people have to continue to say that, hey, it's just the Raiders, right? So we're gonna go over a few stats and facts. First off, obviously, this is by definition a historic win. Mostly because of the long drought. 17-year? Way more than 17. What is that? 30? A 30-year drought of a first quarterback to win in his first start. Also, that most net passing yards by a Brown since week 1. Shout out Joe Flacco. Completed 2 of the longest passes by a Browns quarterback all season, right? In a rookie quarterback curse, first career touchdown pass, 2 longest plays of the Browns season. Made Myles Garrett smile, made him happy, made him feel something on the inside. And on top of that, from my man Daniel from Next Gen Stats, this was also, and this is the one, cover 0, rolls to his right, does what he needs to do. This was the Browns' longest completion by air yards, 42, since 2023. So this is, again, I do make clickbait titles, but when I said it's historic, it's not clickbait. It is by all definitions history in the making that Shedeur Sanders has done. Now, I think the biggest thing that, the haters are going to start whipping out is, hey man, the Raiders, they're not a good football team. So if they're not a good football team, what I would imagine is that all these other, because, Max Crosby apparently isn't a good football player. I didn't know. But according to Shedeur haters, Max Crosby's ass, okay? He's one of the worst players of all time. Let's go with that, right? With all that being said, that means some other first-round quarterbacks probably took their nuts and dragged it across the Raiders' face, right? Let's start with my man Cam Ward, right? 26 for 38, 222 yards, 5.8 average, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He got sacked 6 times. Now, he is the most sacked quarterback in the league, but a 12 QBR. Hey, man. Shedeur's 80, 60. I think it was around. I think it was 80 something QBR, 209 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Right? It's not looking that bad. But how about we go for some other first round quarterback? Again, this is this year. This wasn't last year. This is a first round quarterback with some experience under his belt, and Mr. Caleb Williams. Right? 22 for 37, 212 yards. Major improvement. 5.7 average. Remember, Shedeur's average is 10.1. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 1 sack for 10 yards. I thought Shedeur was the only person who took too many sacks and took bad socks. But okay, 46.1 QBR. And again, that's a guy in his second year. That's a guy in his rookie year. How about a 8-2 team with one of the best defenses in the league, right? And dang, y'all can only put up 10 points? Interesting. Just check it out, Bo Nix. Bo Nix, 16 for 28, 150 yards, 5.4 average, 1 touchdown, 2 interception, 1 sack for 9 yards in a 24.9 QBR dog. If Cortland Sutton would have completed the pass that he was trying to throw, he would have had a higher QBR than Bo Nix against the Raiders. Like y'all said, I didn't say that. Y'all said the Raiders are bad. They're trash. So is Bo Nix bad? A second-year player that has the keys to the castle to an 8-2 Broncos team? I just want y'all to let's make sure we keep it consistent. How about one of the highest rated players in college football draft history? He almost had a perfect rating, the first quarterback since Andrew Luck to get the same level of rating, the athleticism, the prowess. We're talking about my man Sunshine, Trevor Lawrence. He's been one of the most disappointing prospects that we've seen in a very long time at the quarterback position. And this is what he did again against the Raiders. They're bad, right? These are the terrible, awful. Max Crosby is bad at football Raiders, right? 23 for 34, 220 yards, 6.5 average, no touchdowns, 1 interception, and a sack, 60.1 QBR. At least your QBR is a little bit respectable, son, right? So I just, it's either one or the other. Either Shedeur is terrible or the Raiders are terrible. Like, which one is it? Because I ain't gonna let you say nothing about Cam Ward. I'm sorry about it. You ain't gonna say nothing about Cam Ward. I know y'all like making fun of Caleb Williams, so go ahead. I know y'all like making fun of Bo Nix. Go ahead. We all like making fun of Trevor Lawrence. So if they were ass in the beginning of the season, would they got more ass? Max Crosby wasn't out. Tyree Wilson was also out, former first-round pick. But again, y'all don't know who the first-round picks of the Raiders are. Y'all don't watch football. I'm talking about the Shedeur haters. But it's okay. I'm educating you. I'll educate you through your hate. Yeah, they got some dogs on the Raiders. And apparently top-tier quarterbacks, right? Or at least first-round quarterbacks seem to have a bad day when they go against the Raiders. But hey, it is what it is. Because there's more things going on, right? Now we're gonna watch a few videos speaking about the offensive play calling for the Browns, because I think a lot of people, by and large, it's easy to feel like there's something more that the Browns could have done. It felt like there was a spark. There felt like with a little more better communication, maybe a little better play calling, things could go the right way. Now, I want to point this out. The Browns offense finished with a league worst 26% success rate yesterday. Not only worst of any offense yesterday, but the 6th worst game out of any team amongst 341 offensive outputs in the NFL season. So again, success rates, that goes a big way. And this is offense in totality, right? The running game was non-existent this game. I think they averaged Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson like 2.8 yards per carry, right? So we're not talking about a Shedeur Sanders where, they're just gonna run all over him. Actually, they couldn't. They continued to put him in third and longs. And my favorite thing is, if you're new to the channel, because I already know you're gonna comment down below, I didn't hear all this with Dylan Gabriel. Okay, well, you must be new to the channel, because I actually defend Dylan Gabriel because I want to keep things fair. I just think that, look, I've been watching football for a while. I know how this goes. There's no reason to, unless Dylan Gabriel's just playing bad, which he was playing bad, there's no reason to say anything else besides that, hey, his play on the football field is bad. And that's what it was, right? But also with Dylan Gabriel, they had a pretty good run game, right? There was times where the run was good. There were times where Dylan Gabriel was allowed to throw the ball 54 times against the Pittsburgh Steelers. There were other situations where they could have been in a better situation or had better run game as well. And most importantly, if y'all go back and watch my videos, go back and watch the lives, something that I consistently said about the Browns offensive play calling was, hey, if we know Dylan Gabriel's strengths, and we know that he's not a guy that pushes the ball down the field, why are you setting up your rookie for third and longs? Why are you doing run, pass? Why are you forcing your quarterback into must-throw situations? And again, to the Shedeur haters, I know y'all don't watch football a lot, so I'm gonna slow it down for you, okay? The purpose in between those sticks is to make sure that at each down and distance you can open up the playbook and give your quarterback as in your offense as many options as possible, right? On 1st and 10, you virtually have people say a wide open playbook, right? If you take that 1st and 10 and go to 2nd and short, again, your playbook is wide open. You can run for the first, you can throw to keep the defense off balance. It's all about options and setting up the defense up. If you run it, don't get nowhere. Run it again, you don't get nowhere, and now it's 3rd and 8. Well, Shedeur is gonna have to roll to his right and throw a 51-yard bomb. Like that's all that he can do, right? There's no way that you're setting up any quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, up for success if your idea is let's run it here, and then on 3rd and long we got to do it. I've talked about this for weeks for Dylan Gabriel. I'm like, yo, as bad as Dylan Gabriel has been playing, and he played some bad football, they're not doing him any favors by saying, hey, figure it out on 3rd and 8. hey, 3rd and 10, it's on you, buddy, right? And it's easy to say, oh, well, it's 3rd down. And in the NFL, you do have to make 3rd and long passes. I'm not saying that. But as an offensive coordinator, how can you alleviate the pressure in the goal should not to get a 1st down every play. That shouldn't be the goal. The goal is to stay on schedule or to average 4 yards every play. If you average a run and that had 4 yards and then you win again, okay, well now we're 3rd and 6, right? Now we're 3rd and 5. Now we're 3rd and manageable. And there's a little bit more we can do. Maybe we can do a screen. Maybe we can do something underneath. But forcing 3rd and 8s and 3rd and 7, 3rd and longs, dog, you shrink your playbook and you make those edge rushers pin their ears back and go get after your rookie quarterback no matter who it is. So I would love to see whoever's calling plays, if it's, I know it's supposed to be Tommy Rees, but please, y'all can't keep setting up your rookie quarterbacks for this and think there's going to be any success. Now, we are going to hear a little bit from Anthony Lima, a big Shedeur hater, right? Big Shedeur propagandist, but Ken Carmen has a lot of positive things to say. Let's hear it.
Proper perspective. Yeah, I know the QBR is bad, and the interception was bad, and honestly, I didn't see much conducting of an offense. My bar isn't that high. My bar isn't that high.
Well, when you
kept his eyes down
when
the
you
field.
say that, you didn't see much conducting of the offense.
Well, there was a bunch of 3 and outs. I thought that they put themselves behind the sticks a little bit too much. I think that they did what they can to try to keep him in front of the sticks.
Part of it is they couldn't run the football,
and they could not run the football.
So
exactly.
How many times again was Judkins?
That's Shedeur hater saying that.
Was he touched behind the line of scrimmage?
Too many.
And then next thing you know,
but when you ask him to throw only 20 times in a football game, like you're still trying to get him used to it. Again, like people are just going to go off the rails on everything. So this is a weird day today. When you're only asking him to throw 20 times, I mean, how many did he throw in the first half? What was he in the first half?
7 for 11.
I think he was. Let me get it out. I knew I wrote it. 7 of 11. He only threw a ball 11 times in the first half. 7 of 11 in the first half. You had the one big bomb. Everything else, a little bit quick. Quick outs, tunnel screens, things like that. A lot of things like that. Guys, that's okay. It's his first time out. He had, basically no practice. Like, my bar isn't that high. It really isn't. Can we just relax for a second and get off the internet and understand that our favorite football team won and that he looked good? I'm not setting the draft card on fire for next year. He's got to prove that over.
He's got to prove it. And again, he's starting against the San Francisco 49ers defense. And we'll go deeper on the 49ers defense, maybe break down some of the things they do good and some of the things they do well in anticipation for Shedeur's second start for his NFL career. But again, that's a Shedeur hater. Anthony Lima, known he's spread obvious lies about Shedeur Sanders, and he was like, "Hey man, the running game wasn't there. They averaged 2.7 yards. They didn't really help him out in a lot of different ways." And again, don't just take it from me. Don't just take it from Anthony Lima. This is what Chase Daniel has to say about the situation.
All right, Shedeur Sanders, first start, got a full week of practice, no excuses, no anything, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like the game plan. The game plan was, hey, play defense. Run the football on 1st and 2nd down and make him throw the football on 3rd long. They were really bad offensively on 1st and 2nd down, and the protection plan from the offensive line just wasn't great. He made some really good plays. There's a play where on 3rd down and long, he made this play where he scrambled to the right. He threw this dime shot down the field, and you saw Deion Sanders get excited. You saw all these guys get excited. The play before, though, they did the exact same thing, okay? The Raiders brought pressure, and they did the exact same thing, and Shedeur scrambled out to the right, threw it away. The very next play, though, down the field. But the game plan overall just wasn't great. The interception, it's coachable. Look, you threw it right to him. It's a little spot concept where a guy sits down and he goes out to the left. I just think, like, moving forward, though, like, he showed enough to be able to get another chance, and that means he needs to get another chance to start. I know Stefanski was saying, hey, we don't know who's going to start, do this. I want to see him play. Like, I want to see what he's got. I want to see what he's got. Give me some 1st and 2nd down play action stuff. It will be much better, but Shedeur, it was all right.
Hey, I think that's fair. That's former quarterback Chase Daniel. They said he did pretty good, you know what I'm saying? And, I want to stress that I'm not jumping up and down. I'm not saying that, Shedeur is the greatest thing smoking, but what I will say is, Shedeur Sanders, rose to the occasion. He did what he needed to do. We keep seeing improvement. If the first game was very, very bad, and in the game we saw better plays, and in this game you saw an improvement from the last game, I think you would be dumb to think that there wouldn't be more improvement this upcoming game too. So I'm super excited for Shedeur. I'm super excited to, that he has apparently the keys to the castle, and at this point it's his job to lose. If he continues to improve, it can start shaping up and shaking up what the Browns do in this next draft class. I know Andrew Berry is somewhere, rubbing his hands like Birdman. But y'all let me know how you feel in the comments. Like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't. Subscribe if you like football content, man. Continue to be great. See you next time. Bye.